Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of the Power and Spin Challenge, where today we're going to be adding 500 RPMs to your forehand using the best in teaching technique and technology from Tennis Express. This is brought to you by me, Peter Freeman from Crunch Time Coaching, and Tennis Express. If you're ready to hit a more powerful forehand with more spin, you're in the right place, so let's get started. All right, guys, so before we get on the court with today's lesson, let's get into the technology from Tennis Express. Now, they've sent me this racket right here, which is the Head Extreme. And talking to Sam from Tennis Express, he said this racket, it's got some pop, but it also has some really nice spin feel to it. So if you want to hit a ball where you're swinging really fast, but you feel that safety that the ball is going to drop in, you can pick up one of these Head Extremes. Make sure you go to tennisexpress.com. You could try out their demo program and you could give it a try to see if it works for you. Now, what we have here inside is a really cool looking string that matches the racket called the Hyper G string. And these are gonna help give you more control and bite to the ball. So sometimes when you're hitting that ball, you want a little more control when you're hitting it so you can add that acceleration, which adds the bite and the spin. So we strung this one, it's a poly string. We strung it around 51 pounds, and let's go on the court and I'll show you how to get more power and spin on your forehand. Okay, so just like on our serve yesterday, there are leaks that you're doing, power and spin leaks we're gonna be covering today on your forehand. And the first power leak that I see, I call it the tin leg, okay? People don't use the kinetic chain properly on their forehand, so their legs tend to be very straight up and stiff. They're not rotating their hips back and really getting into it. So they're here hitting like this. They're not getting a lot of power on their forehand. So the first tip that I'm gonna show you, I call it hammer and Hank. Remember Hank Aaron hitting those home runs? If you watch professional baseball players hit, that's how you want to think about a load and explode with your forehand so you can get your kinetic chain involved, build the power in the ground, and release it into the ball. So you watch a baseball batter, get ready, especially those open stance baseball batters. That's what you want to be, because you want to be in an open option at your forehand where you have the option to hit open, or you can close it up and step in. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting open and then step in. We're going to get the weight back like a baseball batter. And then we're going to step in and hit, and we're going to turn this toe into it because you're going to feel that hip rotate into the ball. Okay, so let's take a look at some hammer and Hank forehand. Okay, look at that. Load and explode out into the ball. Load and explode out into the ball. There you go. All right, so the next leak that I see, I call this the spacer power eraser. And that's when you have bad spacing. You see how I'm hitting the ball under my hand right here, and then when I'm hitting, I'm cramped. So again, I'm not able to use my racket and my body as leverage. So can I only hit my shot so hard? Plus a lot of people, when they're cramped, lose a lot of control when they're hitting, okay? So let's take a look at something I call, we're gonna roll out the red carpet so you can finally have the feel of what it's like to have the best spacing out there in the game. All right, so what we wanna do is we wanna roll out the red carpet so we can get our spacing down right. It's very important that we use our offhand. That's why when you look at a photo of like Federer, Djokovic, Serena Williams, any pro you can think of, they're very strong with that offhand. And what we don't want is that ball becoming under the offhand, because then we're gonna be too close. So I got my towel here, and you wanna get on the towel and figure out, okay, where can I reach to where I'm hitting just outside the towel? And then you wanna have a friend or a ball machine, have the ball come just outside the towel. I think it's best to probably set up in a semi-open stance to hit these, and so you can find that spacing. If you're hitting over the towel, then you know you're too close. You want to be reaching outside the towel. You see, I got nice reach there. So I know if I'm hitting over that, I've got great spacing. Let's give it a try. There you go. Okay, so leak number 2 is a spin leak, and I call it the tweaker. We see this all the time. You want to hit a great shot, but on contact, your racket face does a slight tweak open, and when you open up your palm, that's going to take the spin off of the ball. So I come here, there's a little tweak, the ball loses all its spin, it flies. I look good, I open up, the ball goes out. So what do we do for that? I'm going to show you the magic topspin towel drill. Let's get started. All right, so for this drill, I want you to do some self-feeding on this, all right? And the key to hitting a really good topspin forehand, the grips can also help with this. So I'm holding the racket in a semi-western grip. That's gonna help keep the strings closed. You're gonna notice the pros today, when they bring the racket back, the strings are facing towards the ground. And then when they naturally swing up, they're gonna get themselves into something that I call the push-up position, and then they're gonna go through and hit the ball, all right? So what I'm gonna do right here is I like to use a towel to put on top of the racket so I can feel the weight. So it's teaching me to keep the palm down as long as possible and not open up the palm. If I open up the palm, the towel's gonna fall off early, my racket's gonna open up, the ball's gonna lose all the spin. The more I can think about keeping my palm down, I can brush the ball, put topspin on it, and I also feel the weight of that. But I wanna be relaxed here in my wrist. And so you get a towel, you put it on, you bring out a handful of towels, how many towels and forehands you wanna hit, and you get here and you spin that ball. Look at that nice arc topspin. When you do that drill. So get yourself some towels and go work on that. It's a lot of fun, and I could really feel the brush on that ball. It's probably my best topspin forehand of the day. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna teach you how to have the perfect blend of power and spin. So we've got a couple of different problems coming on with people who are trying to get topspin. I call them monospin Mike or same spin Sally, and that's where they just pretty much hit the same shot every time. Maybe it's like just high and spinny every time and they can't flatten out the ball, okay? That's because they're breaking off their shot too early and they don't know how to extend through it, so they can hit a nice high ball, but they can't drive the ball. Then you have other players who have too much power and not enough spin control, and so they end up driving the ball too much, and they end up driving the ball long and out, or they hit the net, or sometimes they hit an incredible shot like that. So what I have here is the towel, so we can learn how to lengthen out our shot and break it out. So the more drive you want on the ball, you want to reach out through the towel as long as possible as you're hitting. Then your balls are going to go faster and straighter in the court like that. I'm reaching out as long as I can through the towel, right? And then if I want to have some balls go higher, I'm gonna break off the swing earlier. So I'm gonna pull off the towel earlier. And when I do that, add your best amount of power and spin and have a lot of variety where you hit some balls lower than net, some balls higher, some balls feel like a tidal wave that you're hitting at your opponent. You wanna, again, roll out the red carpet and work on your breakoff. See, the longer I stay over the red carpet with my swing and go out, I'm gonna drive the ball is gonna stay lower. The more I also kind of angle my body down, sink my legs low, and I go to lift off, which I like to call a break off. The earlier I break off from the shot, I'm gonna get more height and more spin. Also, I can do some more windshield wiper shots with this and get the ball to angle off the court, okay? So you wanna work on this towel and try all kinds of different breakoffs. What you don't wanna do though, the big mistake that people make is they think that adding the spin has to do with wristing at the ball. So they're basically breaking off on contact. What you want to do is hit the ball in the push-up position like that. See, I like to call it the push-up position because that's the position your hand is in when you're hitting the ball. See, I just did a push-up there. So I want to make sure that I hit it without breaking off, and then I decide how late I break off. The more I stay with it and don't break off, and I break off way out there, the ball's going to stay low over the net. The more I come and I lift off after the contact, then I'm gonna hit the ball higher, especially how I angle my body. The lower my body goes and the more I lift, I'm gonna hit a higher, heavier ball. Pretend like you're Rafa at the French Open and you're hitting the ball way over Roger's shoulder on the backhand. So let's check some out, and you'll see I add a bunch of different break-off points, and you will see the ball going fast and driving, and then other ones high and looping. A good blend that I would call my rally ball. We're getting nice height, nice spin, and we can get in a rally cross court. So I'm reaching through but breaking off fairly soon. And then when you feel good about that, you want to take some more risk. You can then go through the carpet longer. Now look how the ball stays lower. Go through the carpet longer and the ball stays lower. What if I want to hit a super moon ball? I'm going to break off super early there. Break off super early, and now the ball is going higher and spinning up on that backhand. So go out there and give this drill a try. Roll out the red carpet, practice your break-offs, and now you're gonna be adding spin variety to your game. All right, guys, so that's the end of day 2. So you go do the drills and you go get yourself one of these head extremes on the Tennis Express website. You'll be hitting with more power and more spin on your forehand in no time. So go to tennisexpress.com. Make sure you're back for day 3 tomorrow. Also, just so you know, Tennis Express, along with 40 of the best coaches on the planet, are part of TennisCon 8. So I also put a link somewhere on this page so where you can sign up for TennisCon 8 so you don't miss that, so you can bulletproof your game. All right, so I can't wait to see you tomorrow, day 3. We're going to bulletproof your backhand. So be ready tomorrow, be looking out your inbox, and I'll see you there.